So today's plan is, so ideally I want to get this pond sorted out. I've got the liner down at the other shed, so I'm just going to give it a good old weed, just dig it out a bit more, because this area is obviously going to be the deeper end, but I'm not going to make it too deep. It's going to be more of like a wildlife pond, no fishes or anything, but I might stick some pond lilies in, and then this bit's going to be a shallower kind of end for like, if you can get some newts and bits and bobs, frogs, everything to come, and that. So I'm down on the first plot. So this is obviously the little pond that we've got down here. But obviously this will be eventually all taken up anyway, because this will be the fruit area. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of clear all this area, a few strips down, some rows of raspberries and that. So I've got some along the back there. But yeah, I'm going to take up all the plants and move them up to the top eventually. And then so these are quite well established anyway, these pond plants, and that, so they'll be good for the oxygenating. I managed to find the pond liner, so I don't know how great it's going to be, because it's only those most cheap ones, and that, so I was going to use it last year before we even kind of took on this plot for making a bigger one down there, but obviously things changed and now it's going to go here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to dig all this out a bit more, just de-weed everything. Obviously these were the old daffs, little miniature ones, which once I've dug it over I'll dig them in around as well, so obviously because they're finished flowering now, they can come up for next year. But all this like sticky weed, and I was like, when we were kids, you know, for me not long ago, but you know, you should chuck it on each other and it gets stuck everywhere like that. But yeah, I'll give it a good old going over, and then I'll catch up with you, but I'll stick on a time lapse of me giving it a good old clean. Right, so I've kind of levelled it out. The sun's behind me, so it's a bit hard to tell. So it's like, got one shelf, a little bit of back shelf, and then it slopes down into the deeper end. So if any wildlife gets stuck and that, but this area it's obviously all fenced off with a trellis anyway. Obviously there's gaps underneath, I've done purposely, so things like frogs and the slow worms can obviously get in and out easily. And then this front part here, I'll get like a little fence, little metal fence. Well, I'll probably insert a picture of something what I'm thinking of. And here, so I put along there from the potatoes and there, so just stops anyone or anything from falling in on purpose, really. It'd probably end up being me, to be honest. Got this old fleece, so I'm going to use that as a underlay. That's why it's not too bad stone wise there. I've kind of smoothed it all out anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the fleece down and then the pond liner, but my problem is the water's not turned on yet, so I might just use there's a water butt here and there's a water butt on the little shed over on the other side. Get the water out of that to start filling up this, and then because that's got some good bacteria in there, and there's also some pond plants, some oxygenating weed in there as well, so I can hook that out and chuck that in, because I don't want to use ideally all the tap water, because obviously it's got chlorine and whatnot in there, so all the good bacteria will be in the water butts and that. I think when I was digging, I think I had a little chomp on me. I think it was an ant or red ant, because it bloody hurt. Anyway, that's the gardener's life. Probably not the best idea to be doing this on a very windy day. But obviously, yeah, so I have to put down this fleece down for now. Just need to kind of weigh down the edges a little bit so it doesn't flap away, and then I will get a few watering cans in there. Hopefully it's going to be big enough, because it's only 2.5 metres. It's going to blow away. Alright, let's get some stones before it takes off. Just put a few slabs around just to keep it in place. So what I'm going to do is going to be a long process, but I just want to get some water in there. Just kind of try and smooth out the line as much as possible. I find these actually quite good, because obviously they were left behind from previous tenants, but it's got a nice little curve to it. I think there's one more piece as well, so I could use that to edge that part. I'm not too worried about these edges, because I will, once it's filled, I will dig them down along the side anyway, same with that side as well, and then obviously we'll plant up the edges as well, so should be nice and wildlife friendly. But let's start getting some water in there. I just thought I stuck on the hyperlamps, but actually I stuck in record for the last 5 minutes. So that's basically one water butt, that grey one, full. So that is mostly all the rainwater. I've got another water butt. It's just starting to go in this part here. Just needed to go around on that shelf. And I might have a little bit of a problem on this end, but if I just shore that up a little bit higher, that should be fine. But let's go and get some more water. So, pond is practically filled. Obviously I'll have to kind of level out more of the edges, just so it makes the ground kind of level there. And but no, it's turned out alright. Now that's what, 2 large water butts full. But it's all rainwater, so it'll have good bacteria. What I'll do, I need to try and get some more slabs, which they are probably scattered around on this plot, and then try and cut in the edges so it doesn't flap over in the wind and then drains, because all that water will go to waste. Obviously, hopefully there's no holes in there, but it's only a cheap liner. What, I think it's like £15 from Amazon, so I know it's not going to last a great deal, but you know, should get a couple of years out of it. But yeah, I'm going to go and get some of the pond plants, just start sticking them around, just so you can get some oxygenating in there, so it doesn't go all stagnant and green. So just bought up a couple of the plants. I'm probably going to order some more and get maybe a nice little lily to go in there as well. Just trying to scavenge some slabs to go around the edges. and that, and I'm just cutting around, just neating it up, and then eventually I could put some plants in around the edges that will eventually crawl over and cover the liner on the edges there. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the edging, and like I say, I'll get some nice little creepy plants and pond edging marginal plants around it as well, so the frogs and that can enjoy. Yeah, this is what I just found, Mr. Slowworm. Right, I'm going to put you to safety. There you go. Oh. I'm just going to sliver off down there now. Okay. Right, good morning. So I am back to the pond. So obviously, since I've probably done the last video, I've got a couple more plants from the garden centre and managed to find some logs and that are up by the community shed. Some more up there as well, which I'm going to put in around just to make it more natural looking. Also added just a few more pondy plants in there and some oxygenating weed. But what I've also bought up today, one would be the solar pump. Then there's little cheap ones from Amazon, so when we do get any sun, that should be good to go. And then I also got this. So it's obviously tri-coloured lily, so I'm presuming it's just free bare roots in it, but it comes with the compost and all the growing media that you need. So I'm going to set these up today, get them going, and I'll plug this in, but we're not going to get any action out of that today. Right, let's get this set up. Okay. I'm always worried about these kind of things when you get them like bare rooted, but it's nice and moist in there, and you can tell, see there, some growth going on in there. Yeah, got some new roots, look by the looks of it. So that's the compost and the gravel to go on top. So don't need to read the instructions because it's going to be quite simple. So this set was only £15 from Amazon. A little bit confused because it's supposed to be free. Unless these are two in here. That might be one. There might be another. Yeah, okay. Right, let's get these. Sit in there. Hopefully you can see us all on camera. I'm guessing that's just another one. There's actually three different colours. If we get two, we get two. hopefully that'll be alright. Starting to send out the little lily pads, so let's try and set this up. Move it around a little bit. Part one I think. Right, that's in there. So hopefully that should be all good to go. Right, let's get this set up in here. Hopefully it'll be alright. Trouble, it's trying to work. Problem is the cable's not really long. Might put the cable at the back. Same camera. Surprisingly, for an actual cloudy day, it's working. So I'm actually quite pleased with that, actually. Obviously with the full sun, as I said, I think it's an 8 wattage, but that solar panel is quite a chunky thing, so it should be quite decent. But yeah, considering there's actually no sun today, it's working. So that is pretty good. So yeah, I still need to play around a little bit with the edges just to make that a little bit lower, so the line is not too exposed, and that. But I'll get some more little alpine-y creepy plants to go around as well, and that. But yeah, these are quite pretty. They should spread quite nicely through. And what I might do, get some more of these logs and turn some on their side and drill some holes in there for the kind of like the bees and what insects in there as well. Like same for that over there as well, so it should look quite nice once it's all planted up. Right, I'm going to finish this video here for today, but thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. It's working. I'm actually quite pleased with that, actually.